What's up, A to Z Sports Live on a Monday, another Victory Monday. And hey, the Titans were wearing those Oilers throwbacks yesterday, and looks like Zach's wearing an A to Z throwback here on this Monday show. Going to have a hell of a conversation today as Will Levis. You should have told me about the throwback. I would have worn my throwback if you told me about it early on. But anyway,
I didn't know you still had your throwback.
Oh, of course I still have my A to Z throwback. But we're going to have an incredible show today. This Monday morning as Will Levis leads the Titans 4-touchdown performance, 28-23 final score over the Atlanta Falcons. What a day to be a Titans fan this morning. And we got a ton to break down. One word to describe Will Levis's debut as the Tennessee Titan, joining a former Titan quarterback and doing something in his NFL debut. We'll discuss a lot of it. Hear from Will Levis. We'll hear from Derrick Henry, and then we'll discuss, after we talk about all the things Will Levis and what this does for the Titan season, the moment that I think split the fan base yesterday with the boos that rained down like a Nashville Monday morning sky in Nissan Stadium on Sunday when Malik Willis took the field in the second quarter. We'll discuss all of that. It is the age game on a Monday. Going to have a hell of a show today, Zach. So welcome in. We've got things to do. The people have things to do here on the show. Let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, a big show ahead of us on this Monday as we finally saw Will Levis for the first time in regular season action, and man, did he look good. So a lot to get into. We are broadcasting live on 3 different platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We got you locked in right there. Also follow our Twitter/X account at A to Z Sports. A lot more people are following that. We're over 25,000 there. We appreciate each and every one of our followers on Twitter/X. And we will tweet out segment by segment our YouTube link on our Twitter/X account. So keep it locked in there. That's a good way to follow us and all the things that we're doing, whether it's interacting, post-game, pre-game, YouTube links. We got you covered there. On YouTube, if you are on YouTube, we've surpassed the 15,000 mark. So a little golf clap there, right? So you guys been doing some work in a good way. Now we're up to now trying to get to 20K. That's our next goal. So we just got to keep elevating our goals. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. You guys can help us out by subscribing. And if you've already subscribed, go ahead and hit the like button on this video. That helps the algorithm. It gets more Titans fans in here, more, I know, also Wildcat fans now will be.
Oh, I have come correct. Unlike Titans fans and Malik Willis, I have come correct this morning. So I am prepared. We're going to have that conversation, and I will double down on what I said yesterday in the postgame show.
So I'll tease you. Little cat scratch fever here on A to Z Sports on YouTube, on Facebook. What's going on, Facebookers? Bottom left corner of your screen, sharing out of public. As we say, sharing is caring and caring is sharing on this show. Share the show around. We need to pop up your Facebook friends news feed, and we will get this party started on a Victory Monday morning as the Nashville, Tennessee Oilers move to 3-4, and they get some losses from some key divisional opponents along the way. So let's get this party started.
Yep, let's get the Will Levis coming out party started on a Monday morning officially. Welcome to A to Z Sports, powered as always by the BetMGM app. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Zach Bingham. We are Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, going live weekday mornings at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Link to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Also hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. We got to thank our sponsors because they make it happen for us, and they help out all of you, like Wilson County Hyundai. WilsonCountyHyundai.com is where to go to make them a part of your new car buying process. And also the Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Farm Bureau Health Plans. Get better with Farm Bureau Health Plans at fbhp.com/ATOZ. The Aura app, keeping your information safe online, and get a 2-week free trial with our link, aura.com/ATOZ. And Krebs Kubota, an elite Kubota dealer with 3 great locations in the Nashville, Middle Tennessee area, Columbia, Franklin, and Murfreesboro, online at KrebsKubota.com. Zach, final score 28 Titans, 23 Falcons. The Titans are officially 3-4. They're 3-0 at Nissan Stadium. and they are 1-0 as Will Levis is the starting quarterback, 19 of 29, 238 yards in the air, 4 touchdown passes. And he also ran the ball effectively, a couple tush pushes on quarterback sneaks. I don't know if Mike Vrabel and crew saw my rant from a few weeks ago after the Colts game about that, but my goodness, Will Levis was on absolute fire throughout that entire game. Zach, I'll let you kind of give your opening statement before we hear from the Titans rookie starter yesterday.
Well, at 2-4 prior to yesterday's game, this was a 2017 football team. Whether they were 20 or 17, that's about how many points that they would score. And they didn't get a ton of offensive firepower until number 8 finally stepped foot on the field and showed his ability, his downfield throws. I mean, it was an impressive performance. And we'll talk about Will Levis in depth as we get into the show. But man, this was a jolt of energy for Titans fans as they have been waiting on somebody to ignite this team. And Will Levis did that yesterday in an impressive performance. Awesome. 2-5 is a lot different than 3-4, especially on a short week, especially heading right around the corner of the trade deadline, which is about a little over 24 hours from now. And you got Steelers on Thursday. And so there's so many things to talk about. And it is exciting. It's what Titans fans have been wanting. And, you know, I was truly, and I think anybody who watches football, whether you cheer for the Titans or you cheer for the Vikings or you cheer for the Panthers, it doesn't matter. When a young quarterback gets his opportunity, especially what we experienced and Will Levis experienced in the draft, to come out and perform the way that he did, you feel happy for the kid, right? You feel excited. You've gone through a lot. You've learned from Ryan Tannehill. You've experienced from even Malik Willis, and now you get your shot and you take advantage of it. So it's joyous to see that no matter what team you're rooting for, a young quarterback come out and have that type of game. It's just one game, but an impressive one game to start Will Levis's career.
Absolutely. And Will Levis, his NFL debut, 4 touchdown passes. We remember, Zach, you were there. You were in Tampa when Marcus Mariota outdueled Jameis Winston and threw 4 touchdowns in his NFL debut. And Jameis Winston's first career touchdown pass was to who? Jameis Winston's first career touchdown pass was to who?
To a Titan.
Yeah. Cody Sensabaugh. Cody Sensabaugh reference here on the show.
I got Cody Sensaslaw out of my mind a long time ago.
But Will Levis, the 3rd NFL player to ever throw for 4 touchdowns in his NFL debut, joining former Titan Marcus Mariota and also NFL Hall of Famer Fran Tarkenton. So Will Levis is either a Hall of Famer or he's not going to get he's going to get his 5th-year option picked up that he doesn't have, and then he's going to go play for the Raiders and the Falcons and the Eagles. So who knows? He could be anywhere in between Fran Tarkenton and Marcus Mariota after that performance. But let's hear Derrick Henry also had a 100-yard rushing game in that with his long of only 14. But Derrick Henry, a hard day's earned work right there with 100 yards in Will Levis's debut. Here is the Titans superstar running back on the rookie quarterback.
Derrick, for you guys today and seeing a rookie like Will Levis come in and did what he did, how much confidence did that just give the offense overall?
Yeah, he was balling, huh? Yeah, he was playing out of his mind. You know, it was good to see because he worked so hard, and I can tell he was locked in all week. You know, throughout the week through practice, and we were just all excited to see it come together for him and the offense, and us being able to finish drives and make some explosive plays.
What was his command like in the huddle?
Oh, I mean, he was calm, cool, and collected. You know, he took charge when he needed to. You know, was voicing, you know, what we needed to do better, and you know, echoing what the coaches were giving him, and he was saying it to us. So, did a great job, and so glad that he had a great game today.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible performance from Will Levis. Had a quarterback rating of 130, managed the game really well. And Zach, I'll tell you, the moment that I thought, oh, Will Levis has something good going on was his touch pass to Derrick Henry on the 3rd and 1 he converted right before the DeAndre Hopkins touchdown pass, the first of 3 DeAndre Hopkins touchdown catches of the day. But when Will Levis on 3rd and 1 floated that easily catchable ball out to his running back near the sideline to convert the 3rd and 1, that's where I thought to myself, oh, the Titans might have a guy who can play this quarterback position at a high level.
Well, he had a couple of those passes, right? That just started the day. Here is something that I noticed that I actually didn't see on Twitter. I was waiting for this show to talk about and bring up.
Okay.
You know the moment that I noticed that Will Levis had something? Did you check his wrists? Because he wasn't sitting here reading off of a play sheet, flipping up, going in the huddle. He didn't have a play sheet on his wrist. He had 2 tape bands. Well, he didn't have anything written on those tape bands. He was doing this all from memory, all from preparation. He would look at the sideline. He'd look at Tim Kelly. He'd get the play. He'd walk his ass over to the huddle, and he would tell the play to all other 10 guys, all from memory. I was super impressed with that. That was the moment that I said, wow, he has really, and I will be honest, I didn't go back to the Kentucky film and see if he did it that way, but I saw that on Sunday, and I said, wow, this guy is not relying on what you tend to see. And look, it's not that massive of a deal, but it does make me feel in his first NFL game to not have a little cheat sheet on his wrist. I was very impressed with that.
Now, Zach, I've known you for a long time. I think I've known you over 10 years at this point. And I also know about you that you have a pet peeve that you don't like when waiters at restaurants try to memorize your order. You want them to write it down so they don't mess it up. But this is Will Levis didn't have his notepad in his little apron there to make sure he remembered the order. He was going, and it was executed very well.
And Austin, if I get a waiter that doesn't write it down and gets my order perfect, I don't give a damn. Because that's all we're trying to do is get the plays in and execute. And he had some savvy, like veteran type plays that a first game rookie quarterback, I just didn't expect. I'm sitting here kicking myself, George, the 3rd and 4th quarter, not just putting, $15 flyer on Will Levis to throw 4 touchdown passes at like plus 10,000 on BetMGM. I don't even know if that was available, but I was super impressed. Let's not talk about his play right now, but just from his command and composure, and man, and we knew the talent and the physicality. I mean, this man's arms. Oh, here's a note. Will Levis's arms, pretty damn impressive. Derrick Henry, not many people can wear a sweater vest, no undershirt. Derrick Henry can. Will Levis can.
Yeah, I was about to say Will Levis is because somebody commented on Derrick Henry saying he needs to fire his stylist. I disagree. When you've got Derrick Henry guns, you can wear that. And I was going to follow up with Will Levis is the only other player on that roster that can probably rock that same sweater because the dude. And also, Will Levis, incredible, epic photo shoot after the game. I don't know if that was pose. I don't know if that's just his Instagram experience that he's gotten in the past, but he had some incredible images on that game. So, Zach, let's get to Will Levis and his comments after the game, because I think poise is a big way to describe Will Levis, and we're going to see that in action with how he described his first game. But first, Krebs Kubota is where you should turn for all of your equipment needs. Krebs Kubota is an elite Kubota dealer with 3 great locations in Murfreesboro, Columbia, and in Franklin. Their website's KrebsKubota.com. Not only do they have the best equipment in the industry with the Kubota line, they have the best warranties for that equipment in the industry because of what Kubota has that no other equipment brand has that. And Krebs Kubota has the best customer service because they are family owned and operated for over 18 years. And their great work has had them expand across Middle Tennessee from just Columbia to now Franklin and Murfreesboro over the last 18 years. So when you need something for equipment, the holidays coming up, maybe maybe a quick nudge. Hey, honey, you need some new equipment so you can make the yard look better for the spring. KrebsKubota.com.
A to Z Sports, we're powered by BetMGM. Download that BetMGM app. Yesterday, I didn't have a bad day. I did not have a bad day. I didn't hit the Will Levis 4 touchdown plus a bazillion, but I did hit a parlay thanks to BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. You got Monday Night Football tonight. You got Lions in Detroit wearing a different type of helmet like the Titans did. They've got their alternates going tonight. They play the Raiders. Get in on the action at BetMGM. Download the app today and use the bonus code ATOZ Sports.
All right, let's hear from rookie quarterback Will Levis on his NFL debut for the Tennessee Titans yesterday.
Like I've been saying, just it's the game I love, and there's nothing better than winning a football game. And Coach Vrabel was saying, we made it a little harder than we needed to, but we got the win. That's all that matters, and got to get ready for this short week against Pittsburgh.
What was your nerve level coming in, Will, and any anxiety, and if so, did it go away?
I was up and down all the last couple of weeks. I think there were certain days where I was kind of, feeling the butterflies a little bit, but really just, confidence and just keeping that neutral, headspace on everything, and I didn't really have any of those feelings today, so that was good.
It's been a while since you played. How did you manage to maybe get the kind of...
Yeah, I was telling Travis in our locker room, I was like, I think you're the last person to hit me since we brought you over from Chicago. But, just playing quarterback, obviously season through season, you're going that long amount of time without getting hit. But, it's football. I'm used to it, obviously, playing as long as I have. And it's good to be able to play the full game.
How big was DeAndre?
This is a dream come true for sure. But, we have, what time is it right now? 3:48. Yeah, I got 12 minutes to celebrate it before we're on to Pittsburgh, as Vrabel said. So.
Oh, man. The way that he approached it, you can tell that he was feeling that. I think that the other interesting thing about what Will Levis had to say in postgame was you saw his interactions with his Titans teammates. Obviously, it's easy to celebrate with somebody you don't know that very well when everything's going great. But him dropping the fact that he's been talking to Trevis Gibson, who is one of the bottom guys on the Titans roster after being brought over on the waiver wire from the Chicago Bears. And you could see the relationships that Will Levis has already developed and the amount of trust that he's already garnered from a lot of his teammates because of the way he prepares. Zach, you brought up the no wristband as being one of the more impressive aspects of Will Levis's debut, throwing 4 touchdowns. The fact that I remember Colton Dowell, 7th-round rookie, just remembering every time he's seen Will Levis in the locker room throughout training camp, he's just got his nose buried in his tablet going through the playbook, football guide, 3rd-generation football guy. He loves to play quarterback. That's what he was born to do, and he looked the part and played the part yesterday.
Some things that Will Levis mentioned was good to play the full game, right? You got to remember at Kentucky, he had injuries. He was dealing with that. He was in the booth one Music City night, right? The Music City Bowl. He wasn't playing. And so he got an opportunity to play. We'll talk about the plays that he didn't play later on in the show. But for what Will Levis, you expect butterflies. You expect that, especially the long, drawn-out couple of weeks, right, with the bye week, knowing that Tannehill was injured, knowing that he was going to get an opportunity, whatever that was, whether it was 75% of the snaps, it was 99% of the snaps, whatever 25% of the snaps, he knew he was going to get an opportunity, and he took advantage of every moment of that opportunity. And really, he put on a show, which I think was super impressive, not only to Titans fans that were at the game or watching at home, but everybody around the country, right? Everybody knows about Will Levis because of the NFL draft. That is a spectacle in itself. And when you finally, even if it's football night in America and they're just showing highlights, you get an opportunity to talk about Will Levis for any amount of time that goes nationwide. That's good publicity for the Titans, at least new quarterback for now.
Yeah, no doubt about that. A to Z Sports here live. I do want to get to some super chats before we get you guys more involved this morning on with our first question. Andre says, let me get this out of the way early. If Levis continues this type of play, I'll wave the I was wrong flag high. Damn, what a performance. He's confident. Skeptical says, can we get back Kevin Byard? The tank is canceled. We're on the Mayo train. Let's trade Tanny for a veteran O lineman. I don't know if that's if Tannehill has any trade value, but He's also hurt, but so are a lot of other quarterbacks.
Hey, the Minnesota Vikings are in a very promiscuous
They
situation
are.
based on Kurt. And we can talk about this real quick because
Yeah.
we still got another day, right? It doesn't happen until tomorrow afternoon. But the Vikings win back-to-back games. Kirk Cousins.
It's a third in a row.
Kirk Cousins, we don't know what his Achilles is, but it's not great, right?
It's like Aaron Rodgers was 2 months ago.
Exactly. So we can all, the writing is on the wall there.
So I have heard the collective bargain agreement, the CBA that the NFL has, is that you cannot trade and retain compensation for a player who cannot pass a physical. Because I don't know if everybody remembers this. The Tennessee Titans attempted to trade wide receiver Derrick Mason to the San Diego Chargers 20 plus years ago. But D-Mace failed a physical because he had a pop bursa sack or something in his knee, and that trade fell through because he could not pass that physical. With Ryan Tannehill's injury, I don't necessarily think he can pass a physical yet because it's only 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I guess 3 weeks since he sprained his ankle in London. I don't think that's possible. So we'll have to see what happens, but the Vikings are desperate. Kenny Pickett also probably not going to play with bruised ribs. Back to Super Chats. Kick It to the King says, no one saw that coming from Levis. Great surprise. And Levis with a 3-year vet. The fans were not booing Malik. We'll talk about that later on for sure. DeMarco says, another Super Chat, Levis was throwing the ball away also instead of getting sacked, something that Tannehill or Willis don't do. He also took the sack,
which was the smartest thing that he could have possibly done. That was a great sack to take. Yep. The protection was outstanding, which you don't say from the Tennessee Titans standpoint quite a bit. The protection was outstanding for Will Levis. Will Levis took advantage, and when it broke down, he didn't throw the football away. He made the Atlanta Falcons use their last time out, which in the end, that's a savvy quarterback play.
Well, you know what's crazy, Zach? Because you just said the protection was really strong for Levis throughout the game, right? It seemed that way. It felt that way. But did you know that Will Levis was pressured on 43% of his dropbacks? So 43% pressure is a high percentage.
Maybe it is movement in the pocket and the feel that he had. The other thing that I love about Will Levis, and we'll get into it, but his eye contact down the field. There's a huge polar difference than Will Levis and Malik Willis in throwing and playing football. Yeah. And super impressive. Read to read, not freak out, try to run. He had a couple of times that he did tuck the ball and run, which you expect to have from a rookie quarterback. But his eyes are always downfield. But maybe it is more kudos to his pocket presence than maybe I was trying to give more credit to the offensive line than Levis's pocket presence.
Yeah, we'll talk about the offensive line later on. I do think Andre Dillard was better after Chris Hubbard had to exit for a concussion. NPF just does what he did at Ohio State, switched from left to right, right to left in game for tackle and letting Dillard come back in and play left tackle. And the Titans got that win. Andre, last Super Chat here real quick, says checks and audibles at the line. 2, excellent to see. No doubt about that. So, Zach, now let's get to our first official question of the day for you and the audience. What's one word to describe Will Levis's 4-touchdown debut in a big Titans win? What is one word to describe Will Levis's 4-touchdown debut in a big Titans win over the Falcons? But first, Zach, tell everybody about Farm Bureau Health Plans.
Yeah, FBHP.com/A to Z is where to go to get your new health plan, health, dental, and vision. 200 plus locations across the state of Tennessee. They're a proud sponsor right there for the Tennessee Titans. They're a proud sponsor on A to Z Sports. So you got to trust them. If we're trustworthy companies, if you trust Will Levis and the company that he works for, you can trust our company and what you're watching right now. You can trust me as well because I endorse them because I use Farm Bureau Health Plans and have for almost 2 years. 75 plus years they've been in business all across the state of Tennessee. Health, dental, and vision. Visit FBHP.com/A to Z. Take a quick health assessment, get a quote, and switch your health plan if it makes sense. It made sense for me and my family. It can make sense for you and your family. All you got to do is go get that quote to start. FBHP.com/ATOZ.
And with BetMGM, you can win big always with our bonus code ATOZ Sports. That means up to $1,500 back in bonus bets with your first bet offer. But you also, if you're an existing user at BetMGM, you can win even bigger with Same Game Parlay Plus at BetMGM. That means you can take one same game parlay and put it in the same bet slip with another same game parlay. So if you're watching multiple games at once and you want to make sure you can put player props with other player props outside of the one game, you can do that now with BetMGM Same Game Parlay Plus at BetMGM. Make sure you sign up with BetMGM. GameSense reminds you to play responsibly. BetMGM for terms and conditions. 21 or older. Tennessee only new existing customer offer. All promotions subject to qualification and other requirements. Rewards issued as knowledgeable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days. And for problem game sport, call Tennessee Redline 800-889-9789. Zach, I will send you to the chat for everybody's one word to describe Will Levis's 4-touchdown performance in a big Titans win in his NFL debut.
Got a big show this morning, so kudos to the chat. I'm scrolling all the way up because of all of the comments. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys. We'll try to get to as many comments as possible. Let's see.
As you keep scrolling, I'll give Titan Kong a shout out for his super chat. Thanks, Austin and Zach, who is ready for some mayonnaise.
I personally am not.
No, Zach is anti-mayonnaise unless it's in honey mustard.
And I hate to even admit that. Let's not even talk about that to not ruin the honey mustard experience for me. But let's see. Z goes promising, shining from Steven, electric from Brandon, shocking from Tighten Up, promising from Chandler, historic there from Tress, putting into the company of Fran Tarkenton and Marcus Mariota, opportunistic from Alonzo, starter from Eric, luck right there. Hassani says Mariota. Poise from IR. Brandon says explosive. Star from Michael. Virtuoso from Justin. Impressive from John. Shocking from Jay. Drayden says brilliant. Refreshing from Trevor. Enlightening from Brad. Impressive from Ashley. Unexpected from Hello, ladies. Little shout out to Val Venus right there. Starstruck from W. Calnan. Elite from Nate's burner account. I wonder what actually Nate thinks. Austin says clutch, not you, Austin, but Austin Baum. Revived from Demetrius. Promising from Chris. Inspiring. A lot of great words as we scroll on down. Needed from TJ Hines, which, needed at 2 and 4. You go to 2 and 5, your goose is cooked. You're done. You're toast.
And that game
they're
could have gone the other way. Like the Titans defense had to get a big stop at the end too.
Devin is aroused. Scary is lovely. Beginning, historic, job saving from Gannon. On brand. We've got explosive. I mean, tons of words coming in here. How would you categorize, Austin, your one word of Will Levis's performance yesterday for the first time in not necessarily two-tone blue, but Oilers blue, which we hadn't even gotten to, I will say, looks so damn good on the field, literally the paint on the field with the big oil derrick in the center and on those players. It was a great throwback game yesterday.
Yeah, I said on the post-game show yesterday, I wonder how fast they can get those things back in white so they can wear them in Pittsburgh on Thursday night. But before I get to my one word, Nathaniel Allison says, Mr. Jones is equivalent to a circus. So that's one word there. And King VC with the super chat says unlocked. So unlocked, throwing it back to my guy, Austin Hooper, who got unlocked. But Zach, my one word yesterday in the post-game show was bananas, just because of how crazy back and forth that was on Will Levis throwing 4 touchdown passes, 3 of which were in the top 10 of air yards of touchdown passes in the NFL this season, which is crazy. 3 of his 4 touchdown passes were in the air for over 50 yards yesterday. The only one that wasn't was the D-Hop crossing route, his second of the day, but the 2 first ones to D-Hop and then the one to NWI where Levis was about 10 to 15 yards back, rolling away, beautiful play design off his back foot, throwing it across the field on a nice play action play from Tim Kelly in that design. But so here's where I have to come correct. Ryan says, love to see Austin give the Kentucky boy credit. No, he has to hate it deep down inside. I don't hate it deep down inside. And But I will have to use my one word today, which is crow. Crow is my one word because that is what I have to eat for breakfast. That's what I have to eat for lunch and probably dinner and maybe leading up to Thursday. If Will Levis can beat the Steelers on Thursday night and Kenny Pickett can't play and the Titans are 4-4 going into a mini bye with a date against your Bucks in Tampa after Veterans Day with a chance to get over 500 against a beatable Bucks team, then I'm going to be eating crow for Thanksgiving too. And it is time for me to come correct. And I came prepared. I came prepared to roast myself. This is what I tweeted on draft night. I made this graphic. I created this off of the Draft Day movie, not Will Levis, no matter what. Well, Zach, I'm here today to tell you that I can't believe I walked into that koi pond. I mean, walk much. I'm a complete moron. What an idiot I am. I was wrong. I'm eating crow. Will Levis was phenomenal in that game. So my one word is crow.
Well, that's fair. Look, you do the show long enough, you have good takes, you have bad takes.
Yep.
I was on the other end of that. I was pro Will Levis, and I felt like it was a good draft pick. Did I think that he was going to start midway through the season? No. Did I think he was a developmental quarterback? Yes. But I thought that they needed to replace Tannehill with somebody besides Malik Willis, and they took a chance by trading. It's one game, boys and girls, right?
Yep.
So, but my one word is impressive. I was super impressed with Will Levis and everything that he did in that one game. And that's what we're talking about, right? Give me one word to describe Will Levis's performance yesterday, not 3 years from now, not his entire career, not the draft pick, not his Kentucky career, one game. And I was super impressed. And I would say this, it takes a lot to impress me. I have very high standards. I have very high expectations, but I loved the command. I loved the no wristband. I loved the pocket presence. I loved the deep ball, baby. You talk about go deep, go deep. You heard, the people are yelling that in the crowd, go deep. Yeah. That's exactly what he did on multiple occasions. And I also love the quick release. His release, which, we've all seen that. I think it was like Kentucky. I don't know if it was a pro day or whatever, but of him just, it's a whip, right?
Yeah.
And he has super arm talent. So does Patrick Mahomes. So does Josh Allen. That's what separates those type of quarterbacks because they have that super arm talent. Am I sitting here saying that Will Levis are those quarterbacks? No. But I was impressed with what he was able to do as a rookie quarterback that has never played in a single regular season game prior to Sunday. So golf clap to you, Will Levis. That was impressive. I was also impressed by Mariota the first time I saw him in Tampa. I was also impressed by Will Levis. And I think, here's the last thing I'll say. I think his teammates were as well.
Yeah. It's funny you brought up the Mariota performance there from 2015, because I just pulled that game cast up to go look at that because I thought about this. Marcus Mariota's 4 touchdown performance against the Bucks was impressive. The Titans beat the Bucks 42-14 in Tampa in week 1 of the 2015 season. But the way Levis's 4 touchdowns happened were way more impressive and less likely to be a fluke than Mariota's. So I'm not saying that Mariota's was a fluke, but I don't think Marcus Mariota threw for a lot of 4 touchdown games in his career after that. And Will Levis, I'll tell you this, Will Levis did not have 4 touchdown passes in a game in college against the Power 5 opponent. He had 3 4-touchdown passing games in college, but all against group of 5 or less opponents, directional school state and all that kind of stuff, tech, but nothing against an SEC or a Power 5 opponent.
Talk about deep passes. Let's also recognize how perfect the pass was to Treylon Burks on multiple occasions, right? There were 2. One, Treylon Burks' feet didn't get in bounds. He was out of bounds. He caught it. It was incomplete. The other one was a teardrop. It was a good defensive play by the Falcons secondary, but it was a great pass. And in this era of NFL, you have to move the football down the field. And Austin, there are not many times where we're sitting here saying the Tennessee Titans had 375 yards of offense, and we're not talking and leading the show with Derrick Henry. It doesn't happen that often. There was a few, Tannehill against the Raiders in Oakland a few years back. I mean, he's had those games, but for a rookie to do this and flip the script and see the momentum that this could bring to this team and this franchise for this year, it's one game. Yeah, but damn, it looked good.
It's one game. And so going back to the Marcus Mariota performance, Mariota had the 4 touchdowns in that game. He threw a slant on the opening drive to Kendall Wright, who took it 50-plus yards on a short pass that went the distance, right? And then Marcus Mariota's 3 other touchdown passes, 12 yards to Bishop Sankey, 4 yards to Harry Douglas, 1 yard to Delaney Walker. And not only did the Titans get a pick 6 from Cody Sensabaugh to go up 14-0, they also got a 3-and-out and a stop. Then they went up 21-0 after the pass to Bishop Sankey from Marcus. And then all of a sudden it was 35-0. They got a couple short fields off of another Jameis pick and a turnover on downs to help Marcus Mariota out. And they were up 35-7. There was no pressure, right?
Yeah, I think I was drinking rum by that time.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I don't know how you were feeling, if you're excited or bummed about the way that was going.
It was a win-win, right?
Yeah, right. As we were, playing for content too on radio at that point. But I thought the fact that Will Levis also was in a game where the Falcons came back. Taylor Heineke played incredible in the second half, putting up 20 points in the second half, outdueling the Titans in the second half. And Levis had to continue to make plays. Like, it wasn't like the game was over. He had to keep it going to help them win the game.
And the end ended like a prototypical NFL game. You have about a minute 12 left to go or 20 left to go, and you got the ball and you can go down there and win the football game. That's welcome to the NFL. That happens a lot every weekend, and it happened again. Also, let's talk about down the stretch, Vrabel holding the refs accountable, right? Second down, it's not a first down. And, at the end, the Falcons, and you have to remind me, who dropped the ball at the end of the game?
My guy, Van Jefferson. And I covered Van when he was in high school. Van's a great guy. He was a great kid, great guy now. Joined the Falcons under Arthur Smith. Has a lot of relationships there. Back in Nashville, he played at Ravenwood, drops that pass.
Lost the game.
Lost
the game.
And I was like,
nixed their opportunity or chance. Huge for the Titans, but lost the game. And that's how it ended. And the Titans get out of there with an impressive win and a needed win. We talk about the 3-4 and the road ahead. The Steelers and the Bucs are both beatable teams. If you blink a couple of times, I'm not talking about quarterback controversy. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that. But ifs and buts, beers and nuts, if they're able to beat Pittsburgh on a short week and beat Tampa down there in Tampa, you're sitting there at 5-3 in a completely different situation, yet to face the Houston Texans twice and yet to face the division leaders, the Jacksonville Jaguars, twice. So opportunity is there. You have a tight AFC North, right? I mean, that division is probably going to steal a few, maybe a couple, but maybe a few wild card spots. And you're still fighting for your division if you're able to get some W's in the next couple of weeks if you're the Titans.
Yeah. A to Z Sports here live on the show. It'd be incredible if the Titans can get to 5-4 before they go to Jacksonville in week 11, then that would be pretty nuts. Jacksonville right now tied for the best record in the AFC at 6-2 with the Chiefs and the Dolphins. A couple other super chats before we switch to our other topic on today's show that is very interesting for sure. And Nisha says, Austin, love you, my guy, giving me props for owning it. That's fine. I only write it because it's a super chat. Just want to make that clear. Nathaniel says it's one game that said a hell of a lot. And Nathaniel also says the Falcons defense was top 5 before the game. Yeah, Falcons defense, top 5, top 10, good. Whatever they were.
Blown coverages.
Yeah. and just getting torched down the field. And then Kane comes in here with a big super chat, more negative than most, but says 4 TDs as a rookie has been done before. Yeah, twice. Marcus Mariota and Fran Tarkenton.
In the history of the league.
In the history, in over 100 years of the National Football League. Yes, it has been done before, Kane. You are correct. 3 times now to be exact, and Will Levis is the 3rd. But Kane continues, win the division after 2-4 start. Now that will be impressive. I've seen this all overhyped BS before. Show fans more consistent wins and titles before the hype is validated 1-0. Look, it's 1-0, Kane. Like, cool your jets a little bit, because that's not like it's not, nobody here should be discussing Will Levis as the next savior of the Tennessee Titans organization, but it damn for sure gives you a lot of hope on what this season can become and what the future can become, because you at least saw how good it can be. It's not always going to be like that, but you saw what it can be.
Yeah, I mean, did you watch Patrick Mahomes yesterday? Patrick Mahomes didn't look like what we've seen from Patrick Mahomes each and every week. Scored 9 points and lost to the Broncos. Didn't play real well overall. Their team didn't. You have those weeks. You also have the superstar weeks. And I think it's just refreshing to see a rookie quarterback have superstar type weeks. CJ Stroud has had a couple of these weeks already this year. Now, they haven't been I think the performance that we saw from Will Levis, but he has been impressive at times. You're not going to see Anthony Richardson for the rest of the year because of the surgery. And, well, let's face it, Bryce Young is maneuvering a bad team, and he got his first win yesterday against those Texans. I think for what we saw for Titans fans, it's more about what has been missing, right? Of the offense and what the ceiling could be. Ryan Tannehill has less touchdown passes than Will Levis. That's something. That's not nothing.
Yeah, and look, what does it do? A quarterback who can make plays. It opens up DeAndre Hopkins, who is out of the end zone for the first 6 games. It opens up a little bit
Chig,
of
little sprinkle of Chig.
If you catch the football, it opens up even more at Chig. But what does it do? The Titans scoring touchdowns and not kicking field goals. What does that do? Put pressure on the opposing offense and gives confidence in Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, Harold Landry, Arden Key, Jack Gibbons, Azeez, all those guys who combined for 6 sacks and a fumble recovery yesterday. Allows them to get a little lick in their chops and get after somebody and make a big impact there.
And it helps Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is strongest in the 3rd and 4th quarters with a lead. We've seen that. We've seen enough of Derrick Henry to know that. And if Will Levis, with his arm and this receiving core, can give Derrick Henry a lead in the 3rd and 4th quarter, usually good things happen.
Yeah, no doubt. A to Z Sports here live on this Monday show. I did see a comment from Jeremy Fowler, who tweeted out earlier during the show here that Will Levis, fresh off his 4 touchdown game, and Ryan Tannehill still needing more time. With his ankle injury, barring any surprise, Levis will get the start against Pittsburgh on Thursday night. That's not a surprise, not breaking any news there. But
I think that's
barring
surprise, covered his ass. He's not reporting this.
But look, it's the Captain Obvious thing. It's said to be said, and is it official? It's from Jeremy Fowler. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, barring a surprise, Will Levis is going to start on Thursday night at Pittsburgh. But we've got another controversy to talk about. Malik Willis was booed when he re-entered the field in the 2nd quarter. We want to ask you guys, fair or foul for Titans fans booing when Malik Willis returned to the field in the 2nd quarter? We've got Titans star players' reactions on this too. But we want to know you guys are the fans. Not saying all you guys booed, but the fans booed when Malik Willis went out there. Fair or foul? But first, the Aura app can keep your information safe online. They've been keeping my information safe since April when I signed up. Over 6 months of me using Aura, who identified 30 data brokers that were selling my information to telemarketers and robocallers and spammers. They got me out of those lists on my behalf. I did nothing, didn't even lift a pinky. They did that in about 5 or 6 days. 30 data brokers, boom, my information gone from their database. And now I'm not getting any spam calls like that anymore. And that's the truth. And Aura can do the same thing for you. And we're going to give you a 2-week free trial with our sponsor, Aura. That's our link only for that 2-week free trial, aura.com/ATOZ. Then you can work on password management and protection, credit and identity theft monitoring as well. Aura.com/ATOZ for a 2-week free trial.
BetMGM, they power this morning show. They are our title sponsor. We love BetMGM. Download the app today. Use the bonus code ATOZ Sports. They're the king of the sports books world. And you got Monday Night Football tonight in Detroit, and the Las Vegas Raiders. They take on the Lions. You get a little action on that. Same game parlays. You got the World Series going on. Ball night. You got NBA basketball also on the horizon, as that has gotten kick-started last week and into this week. So download the BetMGM app and use that bonus code ATOZ Sports.
All right, so we're asking fair or foul for Titans fans to boo when Malik Willis entered the field in the second quarter. So just to set the scene, everybody knows, but to set the scene, Will Levis gets the 3rd and short conversion, the tush push on the opening drive. Play number 4, Malik comes in.
Well, Go ahead.
Yeah. Malik comes in. Bad snap from Aaron Brewer, but Malik can't fall on the football. The Falcons get it. They kick a field goal to go up 3-0. Then Will Levis comes in, scores a touchdown. The Titans are driving. It's still 7-3. Titans are in the red zone, 1st and 10. Malik Willis comes in the game. Levis comes off the field. This is like the drive after Levis had the big bomb touchdown to DeAndre Hopkins for the first of his career. Malik comes on the field and Titans fans boo. So, fair or foul for Titans fans to boo when Malik Willis came back on the field in the second quarter? Zach, I'll send you to the chat before we hear from Titans players.
Steven says foul, Noah foul, Linwood foul, fair from Lou Man, foul from Areen, fair from Nick. A couple of more fouls from Preston and Rambo. Jay says it was fair. Kyle and Anthony both say it was foul. Very foul from Only Memphis. Foul from Dre. American Tough says foul. Felt bad for the guy. He's one of our own. And I think that's what some of the players are expressing, right, that we'll hear from shortly. Byron says it's fair. Duran says fair. Extra fair from Chris Frazier. Mark says fair. He's a grown-ass man. Foul from Brandon. Foul from Matt. Amar says foul. Maserati Mac says foul. Duran says foul. Foul ASF from my guy, Cy. Foul from Areen, who's already said. So I think overall it is foul from the chat, but you do have Josh saying fair, Jason saying fair, Tress says completely fair, 305 says fair for the decision, not for the player, so specifies what he's saying fair or foul for. Brad says fair, Vrabel/Kelly should know better, and I definitely think that Mike Vrabel and Tim Kelly are involved in this conversation, right?
Yeah.
But the fans are too, and the action is too. I think the chat is, if I could give it 65 to 70% foul, that fans should not have booed Malik Willis when he entered the game.
Yeah. Kick it to the King with a super chat says fair. They were booing Mike Vrabel. He didn't learn this lesson from last year. These plays from Malik never work. Gave the Falcons 3 free points. So, Zach, I am going to say fair. It was fair to boo the decision to remove Levis and to put Willis in the game on 1st and 10 in the red zone, up 7-3 in that spot. And I think everybody should understand, and I hope Titans players that we'll hear from too soon understand that fans should not be booing Malik Willis. Like, I do feel bad for Malik. Like, that sucks. Like, I get that. But this is who the head coach. This is Mike Vrabel, who is a troll himself. Mike Vrabel trolling all the way back to draft day, waving in the camera, not drafting a wide receiver in the 5th round, and waving and trolling his fans because he knows what's going on. This is Mike Vrabel clearly joking last week in his press conference saying, yeah, I mean, we might run the play in with the quarterbacks, right? Yeah. This is Mike Vrabel joking around and pointing, and media giving him a hard time and all this stuff. The fans are paying attention to that. And so the fans are paying attention and they're booing the head coach's decision to do that. Not because Malik's 4-yard run was bad on 1st and 10 in the red zone, but because it was a stupid idea after one set of downs in the Will Levis era to put in Malik for something. Like, that's just stupid. Like, why? What? No other football person would think it's a good idea for a quarterback making his first NFL action for them to pull him out after one set of downs and bring in the other guy for some trick play. That is trying to overthink and outsmart yourself with no common sense. And every once in a while, football coaches lack in the common sense department. And I think it was fair for Titans fans to let Mike Vrabel know how they felt about his decision and how they felt about what he said leading up to the game of, yeah, we'll play both quarterbacks. We might run the play with them. We might switch series, might basically treat it like a preseason game. It was fair for that boo towards Vrabel.
What do you think about the fans that were booing Malik Willis?
They should not boo Malik Willis. There's no productivity in that.
What do you mean productivity?
Like, there's nothing productive.
It's a lack of productivity. Malik Willis's play.
Oh, agree.
Talking about lack of productivity is Malik Willis's play.
And look, this is professional sports, right? You don't boo high school kids. You know, at this point, you can probably boo college kids because they're getting NIL.
Tell that to about a bazillion parents across the country.
Look, you can, but yeah, and parents are rough at high school. But like he's a professional athlete getting paid to go out there and play. Malik Willis is. But I don't think there's anything productive.
But he's been bad. No, the only thing that has been non-productive is Malik Willis playing football for the Tennessee Titans. He can't score. He can't run. He can't throw. He can't pass. He can't catch. That's multiple fumbles from Malik Willis. You remember the first time he got on the field and they did a jet sweep, he fumbled that football too.
Yeah, and Mike Vrabel learns a lesson. People don't forget, right?
But let's go to the players, and then I'll get into you can kind of hint on where I'm at, but let's get to the players and what they think. And are they going to support their teammate? That shows exactly what type of culture the locker room truly is and how some of these players spoke.
Yeah. Will Levis, DeAndre Hopkins, and Derrick Henry talking about the Titans fans booing when Malik came back on the field. But real quick, the Bone and Joint Institute is where you should turn whenever an injury arises in life. Injuries are a major inconvenience, and you never want to let that injury linger and just bog down the rest of your life or that current stage of your life. So go get it checked out. The Bone and Joint Institute in Franklin. They've got everything at their Franklin facility to help you out, get back to the road to recovery. Hopefully you don't need surgery, but if you need treatment, if you just need to figure out what's going on, they'll help you out and help you get it right away with all their experts, all under one roof in Franklin or online, boneandjointtn.org.
A to Z Sports, we're powered by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Use the bonus code ATOZ Sports. You see that right there on your screen.
All right, so let's hear from the quarterback, Will Levis, and DeAndre Hopkins first on the boos towards Malik Willis.
Something maybe to build on going forward.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just one of 11. I mean, there's a lot of guys that did their jobs today that won us that game. I mean, 7 being one of them, Malik. Really, that left a sour taste in all of our mouths when we were hearing those boos when he was coming on the field. And we got to know that he's going to be a big part of us going forward to win games. So let's just come correct next time as fans and treat them correctly.
Just trying to come down with the ball and build confidence for the quarterback. And for the Titans fans, us in the locker room, we don't appreciate the boos for Malik. That's very unfair. He's on this team and he's part of us. And what we do. So just definitely it's not something I expected coming here. And I don't think that's very fair for Malik.
Levis and D-Hop. Now, I thought the most interesting thing about those two answers is that the question that they were answering had nothing to do with Malik being booed. Both Levis and Hopkins brought up on their own that they wanted to say something about Malik to defend Malik. Any response there? We got a great Derrick Henry back and forth. It's a longer video. But, Zach, anything to add before we get to Henry?
No, it's teammates supporting teammates. And as long as Malik Willis is a teammate of all of the Tennessee Titans, it shows what the leadership group of the team is going to support. They should support and tell the fans, because they have the microphone right at that point, and they took advantage of having the microphone and sending a message to the fans so that they essentially, I think what they're trying to do is nip that in the bud. So that doesn't continue to build and grow, which I think is smart for the players' standpoint.
Yeah. So here is Derrick Henry, who brought up the boos for Malik and had a back and forth with some Titans media.
Spoke about Malik Willis when he went out there.
Oh yeah, I definitely was gonna say something about that.
Well, what's your input in regards to that?
Well, I was in the game and we were going for it. So I'm like, what they booing about? And I'm looking around, and then until I seen Malik go out and Will come in, and I realized I'm like, they booing Malik. I mean, he's a part of the team. He was drafted here. He's worked as hard as he can to make it to this point, and will do anything he can to help this organization win. He's a great teammate. He works his tail off each and every day to be ready and to come in and make plays, and that's all he's trying to do. I understand, fans are frustrated, when we lose and it's not going the way we all plan, but, we all frustrated. Nobody wants to win, more than we do as players, because we the one out there and, trying to do the best we can to showcase and go out there and win games and, have the fans in it. And, it's like, we're all a family. So, it doesn't help, being booed, when you're just trying to go in there and make a play. And I'm sure, since a kid's been his dream to come play in the NFL and for his organization, I just feel like, that ain't needed, for somebody that's just coming in to help us win. And Malik's a great kid and a great person, and, he'll do anything to help this organization win.
The feedback that we've been getting, though, from fans, though, is that they weren't booing him necessarily, but booing the decision.
What decision? Because he got 4 yards on that play. That's positive.
It took Will out. To take Will out to put him in is kind of what the other side's saying.
Yeah, I know. Will wasn't done. I think Coach put it out there. They both were going to play. So I think everybody should have been anticipating that, either way it goes. And, and I feel like on that play, it was a positive play, and Malik got what he could out of that play. And I feel like I just don't feel like there was no need of booing. Now, if we was getting whooped and they were just going crazy on us, we weren't doing anything, then I understand that. But we were moving forward. Everything was positive.
Can't they be upset at his previous play where he couldn't handle the snap and couldn't fall on it?
Everybody's entitled to how they want to feel. But at the same time, everything is going in a great way. I don't feel like there's no need of booing. We understand that they're frustrated, and we want to do everything we can to get this thing going the right way. Like I said before, Malik wants to win just as bad as anybody on this team and this organization and the fan base as well.
That's a really interesting back and forth with Derrick Henry and Titans media. And it wasn't just Paul, right? Like Paul, independent media member, going out there and trying to stir up stuff that he has a reputation for that people get on to him about. That was Buck with us and with the Zone, Titans radio affiliate. And Jim Wyatt was in there going with the back and forth as a team employee. So I think it was a really strong back and forth between those four individuals to try to figure out how Derrick feels about it and representing the fans in a good way.
But I also think Derrick Henry answered the reason why.
Yeah.
Because that ultimately is what we're talking about, is why did fans boo? They definitely booed. You're not going to be able to take a survey of everyone in that stadium on why they booed. You're also not going to have a recording of everybody at home, what they said in their living room when they saw Malik Willis go out there for another snap later on in the game. I think the why is Derrick Henry answering, the fans are frustrated. They're frustrated with Malik Willis. Now, not him as a person, but him as a player. We have seen enough of Malik Willis. Is he a good guy? Is he a good football player at times? He was drafted for a reason, but he has been very unproductive, and he's had chances. This is not like this is the first time we've ever seen Malik Willis. He had a very poor performance when he had an opportunity to get in the game in London. He had a poor performance at the very end of the game, even dating back at Kansas City, where they couldn't move the ball when they needed to move the ball in overtime, right? There are more examples of that.
Yeah.
Fans are frustrated, keyword that Derrick Henry used, at Malik Willis's play at quarterback for the team. I agree with you, Austin. I think they're also frustrated in how Mike Vrabel handled this situation over the last 2 weeks, because we've seen enough football. Having two quarterbacks is about as good as having no quarterback, right? There's a saying, it may work back in the day when Steve Spurrier was head coach for a college football team, but it doesn't work in professional football. You need one quarterback. And they had just seen Will Levis, the guy that the franchise had traded up to draft, play superb. They did not want to see Malik Willis and what we have seen already in the game give the opponent 3 points, essentially.
Yep.
And all of the history that Malik Willis has played in two-tone blue. Unfortunate, fortunate, it just is the way that it is. But the boos are fair. It's also fair for the teammates to come to his aid, but you can boo whatever the hell that you want to boo. You don't say, bad words or cuss them out or say racial slur. You don't do any of that. That is off limits. But you can boo when you are frustrated at a football team, at a player, at a decision, as a fan base. And it wasn't just one. It was about 60,000 that agreed that they were booing in unison.
Yeah, and also, like, if you're going to boo, then you also have to be able to listen to the players that are pissed about you booing too, right? Like, booing doesn't go without consequence. So I want to get to a couple things from some comments here in a second. One, Aaron Brewer had a bad game snapping in a shotgun yesterday. Aaron Brewer's snap to Malik on the fumble was a terrible snap. One, it was hot and it was far upright. Now, Malik has to get on the football and live to play another play. Like, that is where I think Malik Willis messed up. He tried to pick it up with one hand. It's like when you're playing in the outfield, you pick the ball up rolling with your hand, not your glove, to get it up faster, right? You fall on the football, get the second down. And two, Mike Vrabel has created a lot of this for himself, and Malik Willis got the heat of it, right? I think that's to it. So John Lee B.
I do have a question real quick.
Okay.
Did Mike Vrabel, because there was a lot of content yesterday, did Mike Vrabel comment on the boos?
I did not hear it.
I didn't hear that either.
He does talk at 11 o'clock today, so in like less than 2 hours. So maybe we will figure out what that is, especially after, the players. Look, to me, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Will Levis all brought it up on their own. There was a conversation in that locker room pre-press conferences. Those guys came together and said, we're going to bring this up if we're not asked about it.
And I agree. They were in the correct. They were in the right?
Yes.
They should have done that. You need to support your teammates. But I also fans can boo if they want to boo.
All right. J. Lee B says, not sure if talked about it yet. Wanted to say, don't think the fans are booing Malik. Think they're booing the decision to take out the hot hand that was getting the Titans down the field. And, J. Lee B came back booing the idea of taking out the hot hand, getting down the field, and not booing Malik. Yeah. Also, where has this team struggled the most? The red zone, right? So you're going to try to do something to get cute in the red zone to risk an opportunity to go up 2 scores. Like that's kind of, it's everything into one moment. It's the fumble from the 4th play of the game. It's the red zone struggles the entire season and some to an extent last year, not being able to score touchdowns. Levis just had the first bomb touchdown pass to D-Hop earlier, 20 minutes before this. It's all of it into one. That's why fans booed.
Malik Willis, I believe we will see more of him the rest of the year. I just think that it will be in spots. Malik Willis has proven that he can be athletic and can gain yards with his legs. But Austin, Malik Willis has also proved to date that he can't play 4 quarters and win NFL football games. There's a difference.
I agree with you that I believe we will see Malik Willis in spots. I do not think we should.
I'm probably with you. I'd rather see Will Levis just take the reins. But the Titans are cute. They've always been cute. Derrick Henry throwing touchdown passes, right? Reverses. But that's football. So I expect that to happen. And I I'm curious to see if fans will boo if Malik Willis goes in the game at home in Nissan Stadium.
Yeah. Got more super chats to get to. Noah says people are comparing booing other players like Tannehill and D-Hop. Let me say booing players' performance in a bad loss is warranted. Booing a player when winning is different regardless of the situation. So Noah's more foul.
I think they were booing. They were booing the idea of Malik Willis.
And removing Levis and Mike Vrabel's comments leading up to the game.
Yes, and yes. But Malik Willis has not won the fan base over that he can help the offense consistently. So that's why they're booing.
Yeah, agree. My guy Cy,
we have this on record.
Sure. My guy Cy, at this point, it's pathetic reading these comments. Titans fans seem to be classless and ignorant to the sport. Opportunities aren't created equal. I think that's too strong for my guy Cy, but look, your opinion, you can say
let's not get our panties in a wad. Let's be real. It's okay. Like, let's not be so sensitive. Like, we need to be a little bit less sensitive in society. And this is a great example of don't be sensitive. They're boos. You're not chucking beer cans at the guy. You're booing him.
Yeah, like, when I say something in Zach's opinion that's stupid, you tell the chat to boo me all the time.
This man. Yeah, because we're not sensitive here. All right. There's a time and place to be sensitive, and let's tone this thing back. That's a big problem that I have. They're boos.
All right. More super chats before we move on here. Philip says Levis was great, but the most vital thing he did was save Vrabel from scrutiny he was going to get because I think he intended to play Malik more. I don't disagree with that, Philip. Malik only got 2 snaps.
Hey, how you play more is you prevent the coach from playing other players. And the best way to do that is on-field performance.
Yeah.
And Will Levis did exactly that.
Yeah. Nathaniel asks, name the last time Ryan Tannehill threw for 4 touchdowns. I know it. Zach, do you know it?
Was that against the Houston Texans?
Yes. Week 18, 2021 season. So January 2022. Absolutely. And then Amnesia says, Austin, that's only if they continue to play Levis. What happens when Tannehill's ready to go? Do you bench Levis and play Tannehill? That is what we will find out as that occurs. So we don't have the answer to that yet, but we will at some point because Ryan Tannehill's ankle injury is not like it was a year ago. It's not as bad as it was. The tightrope surgery is going to help him get back. Does a team want to trade for him? I saw some comments on Twitter during the show that you can pass a physical, in air quotes, if you really want to pass a physical. You can get around with things.
It's a really, I don't want to get into it right now because there's so much to unpack. I feel like we can do that tomorrow because some decisions are going to be made and interest, trade deadline. I mean, that win was big for the Tennessee Titans this season, right? And what they did. Will Levis's play was massive for the implications on the decisions that they make. I think trading away Kevin Byard was the right decision no matter what, because I don't think he was going to be a Tennessee Titan next year. And you got something for him. You got a couple of draft picks and a player, and you need those draft picks, regardless of if they're late round picks. Maybe you can utilize those when it comes draft time next year. Byard, it was the smart move. Now they got to kind of take a look in the mirror and say, what are we and what do we want to be? And with what quarterback under center?
Yeah, no doubt. And also, hey, the trade deadline is 20, 30 hours away, right? So Derrick Henry, I still think who knows what's going to happen there. The trade deadline isn't here yet. The Titans are 3-4, but you never really know what that situation is going to be now. But we've got a lot to talk about over the next couple of days, day and a half before the trade deadline. But Zach, it is now time for us to get to the age game that we do to wrap up every Monday show. If you have not liked the show, hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, big audiences here this morning as the Titans got to 3-4 with a massive win. Will Levis throwing 4 touchdowns in his debut. Hit the like button, thumbs up on Facebook, on YouTube. We greatly appreciate that. But now time for the age game. But quick shout out to our friends Wilson County Hyundai, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. Make them a part of your new car buying process. Go see our friends and our buddy Payne Bone there in Lebanon for your new ride at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. Zach, I have the comments blocked. I cannot see them for the age game, which is customary. I like the Titans before yesterday's game, 2-4 or 2-5. I lost in the bye week. 2-5 in the age game. I need to get to 3-5.
Well, here's your opportunity. And there is a theme now at the end of this that you'll connect the dots of why I say that. But yesterday, unfortunately, and we all saw the news, Matthew Perry passed away, unfortunately, said by maybe drowning. I don't know, there's conflicting reports, maybe in his jacuzzi at home. But terrible, right? I mean, Matthew Perry, we all grew up with the Friends and all the movies that he did. He was a notable figure, and gone too soon is correct when you pass away at age 54. But Matthew Perry had done multiple movies prior to his death, including one movie that I found and find hilarious, and it's an old school movie starring Matthew Perry and Bruce Willis. How old is Bruce Willis? The whole 9 yards. If you have never seen that movie, I highly recommend you going back to see that movie. It's a great movie. Willis is the connector. We were just talking about Malik Willis. How old is Bruce Willis? And Bruce Willis dealing with a form of dementia himself. So prayers go out to Bruce as he's struggled with that over the last couple of years. How we play this game is Austin has his guess. The comments, be quick, but don't hurry, because the first comment, as we see them on the comments, is our champion, our age game champion for the week. We've had some really good champions over the last couple of weeks. The question is, how old is Bruce Willis?
I'm struggling to place him in a decade. Is he in his 60s or is he in his 70s for Bruce Willis? I don't know. I usually try to connect dots to get to an educated guess. I've done it with success with Earl Campbell and Mike Keith back in the day. That's where my 2 wins are. I don't know the year that the Die Hard movies were created, but I do know those are like in the mid to late 80s, and Bruce Willis had to be late 30s, maybe. So late 30s in I'm going to go with Bruce Willis is 67 years old. That is my answer.
Final A to Z.
That's it. 67.
Final A to Z. So Austin goes 67. Let's go to the chat and figure out if Austin is correct or who else is correct. 64 from James. This was the first number that we got. Well, actually, Gary and Lou Man were the first, but they had 54. And
that was Matthew Perry's age of passing. So maybe they were trying to guess that.
Yep. American Tough goes with 69. That's nice, but that is incorrect. Tress goes with 64. That is incorrect. Our girl Liz goes with 69. Also nice, but also incorrect. Bork says 64.
Man.
Wrong. 58 from Mr. Jones. Incorrect. IR 56. Wrong. Paul 64. Jason 64. Wrong and wrong. Hello, ladies. No. 74 is incorrect. 66 is also wrong. Orlando goes with 61. That is wrong. 54 from Scary Harry. You got a shot here, Austin, because we haven't seen 67 yet. Mark D says 62. That's incorrect. But we finally come to our winner and champion, and Austin, oh, so close.
68.
Bruce Willis is 68 years young in that sense. One off. But man, when you said, I thought you were going to say.
I almost said 68.
I really did.
And then I went down 1 year. I was like, he's not at that old. Oh man, my gut was
March
68.
19th, 1955, 68 years old, Bruce Willis. And
So,
congratulations to Justin, our champion. And you know what Justin wins? And we don't do this for everybody. 40% off all merch. You can get yours right now. We've just changed it. There's 40% off. So Justin, go get yourself an A to Z Sports shirt, an A to Z Sports hat, a long sleeve. We've got pullovers. But just for you, 40% off of merch. Go to shop.atozsportsnashville.com and you can get 40% off of merch, and you can rock that you're a champion of our age game and A to Z Sports.
Now Devin says he was first, but
Devin
we have a chat that Devin's on Facebook, Justin's on YouTube. You guys can't see each other's comments, but we have a feed that puts them in chronological order.
They're condensed, and I went back and I looked at them. So this is equal opportunity, folks. I'm not biased. If Big Ten Jeff wins, Big Ten Jeff wins. I don't play biased of anything, but today Justin wins. He is our age game champion. Very close from Austin, but impressive. Impressive. It was a lot closer than who did you say was 92?
Oh, that's because I was guessing the wrong person. King Philip or Prince Harry.
Oh, yeah. The king.
I don't know. King Charles.
King
But
Charles
I was
III.
thinking Prince Philip is what I was doing.
Yeah.
So that's, confusion with the royal family. All right, that's it for us here on this Monday massive show. Like Zach mentioned, 40% off all of our merch. So get yours before it's gone. Shop.atozsportsnashville.com. Our merch is moving. So Zach and I don't want boxes in our houses. So please buy our stuff. Shop.atozsportsnashville.com. Also, coming up after Mike Vrabel's press conference today, Titans at 2 with Sam Phelan this afternoon, presented by Doughbird in Green Hills. Titans at 2 with Sam to react to more of what Vrabel has to say after that big win over the Falcons. And make sure you like the show before you head out of here. Always give us that thumbs up. We need that on Facebook and YouTube. That just helps us out, makes it better. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on a Tuesday. Buck Rising live tonight with A to Z Sports Primetime at 8. See you tomorrow. Thanks as always.